Today we're going to be doing some gardening, and more specifically sowing seeds for the season ahead, and we're going to be doing it slightly differently to how we've done it in the past, and we're going to be doing it in a slightly different location to where we've done it in the past. So let me take you over to what was previously the kitchen shed and what is now the potting shed. Look at you and your fancy new shed.
The shed that we still don't have a window on.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the problems we've had with the seeds?
We had a really poor germination rate last year, and we've got some suspicions as to what caused that. Watering was not a problem. I was very attentive to the watering last year, but either the seeds are a little bit old, and for sure some of them are, and one thing, I'm going to use up all the old seeds this year. Number two, the compost, we think, because we have a friend who also had some issues. So we're going to address that issue. And I just think also temperature. So I've got a solution for that as well. So the only problem I foresee is we're testing quite a few different variables, and we won't know which one solved the problem. But they are all fairly accessible solutions, so we can just repeat all of them forevermore if it works. We also ordered a load more seeds. Probably not enough. And as usual, we have very high expectations of all the things that we're going to grow. I have a plan. Look at this. Sinead, this is your book. You left it with us. It's my niece in Australia who was recently here. So this is something we've not done before either, which is be a little bit more systematic about what we're growing, why we're growing it, how we're growing it. And we saw an excellent video from Hugh Richards on how to plan. And so we're following his process, which is basically map out all the staples and work out how much you need, and then put in some fun stuff around it. So we've actually got a map of all of our beds, worked out what's going to go where, and we've gone for a let's grow more of the things that we eat the most of, so tomatoes and peppers and aubergines and salads, and less of the things that we grow because we like growing them, but we don't eat so many of them.
So that is the general direction that we're going to go this year, is focusing more on some staple stuff, but also doing some experiments. And where we're going to start is with the compost.
So last year, we 100% just used this zero germination compost. So this is a little bit old now. And it didn't work that well. I think we maybe compacted a little bit too much in the cells. And a friend of ours suggested that they mix theirs, half the germination stuff and half with the universal. And we have some of that as well. We also bought a fresh bag of each. And to that, we're going to add some perlite. Vermiculite to aid with the drainage and keep it so that we don't accidentally make it too compact again. I don't think the drainage was an issue, but we're going to solve it. Half germination, half universal with some of this thrown in. Okay, so this is just germination. If we put in
this is
universal.
Universal
yeah.
stuff.
So both of them will know about 50-50. So
applications 5 to 25% with other raw materials.
Yeah,
it's very precise.
I mean, how is this meant to help it?
It's a good question. Maybe need more.
We'll try it. What's the worst that can happen? We don't germinate again.
Okay.
So we're going to start with one of the raised beds for greens, which is lettuce, rocket, mustard, spinach, chard, radish, beets, and some extras are going to go in behind the loofahs. Small trays, how many? Roughly 2?
Let's start
I'm
with
going to do
2.
succession planting, so
Yeah,
we don't have
okay.
to have a lot of everything.
Yeah. Okay.
2 of those.
There's some snails in here. Cool.
That'll be greens. Tomatoes, like courgettes, peppers, aubergines, and then all the extras, like whatever extras.
Okay. This tub is a genius idea.
Did you have a clever wife? Sometimes.
No comment?
I heard that sigh.
I need to press it down a bit.
A little bit, but not too much. Just, I think a little.
You want me to pass these back
No,
in?
just
No,
put them
line up,
aside.
okay.
Because what I'll do then is I'll do the seeds and pass them out, and you can sow them and then pass them back.
Okay.
Look at all those.
That is a lot of seeds.
Yeah. I might have bought too many.
Didn't you say literally a few minutes ago we might not have enough?
Okay, I forgot I had all of these ones. And I think these are flowers and flowers. More flowers and more flowers. Flowers, I think. Flowers, purple spreading broccoli.
Later.
Yeah. Flowers, and can you confirm what these two are?
So a smelly weed and a cow herb.
Flowers.
I really have no idea when it comes to the Portuguese translations of some of these varieties, and certainly don't even get me started on the Latin names of things. No idea. Even though I did study Latin at school, didn't really come in useful. Do we not want to just start with the things that we only need a few of in the bigger cells?
That's what we're doing.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
It just happens to be the way it's going.
Great minds think alike.
We've got winter squash, butternut, melon.
Is it a bit early for melon? No? Wow. Butternut.
All of this can go get seeded.
Okay, well, I guess if they don't come up, we'll just try again in a couple of weeks.
So this is for the big square in the middle at the bottom of the garden. So you could probably only fit 2 down there, maybe 3. There is an extra bed, so we could also put an extra. So yeah, 4 is probably right.
Okay, let's do 4. Normally I would do 2 seeds in one hole, but I think I'll just do 4 cells.
Yep. Winter squash, we have 2 varieties.
I'll do 1 of each.
1 of each or 2 of each?
1 of each. Well, we only need one plant of each. So I don't know
It's in the big square down the bottom where the strawberries currently are that I'm going to move.
Okay.
So
well,
you could fit 1 and 1, but if you want to...
Let's sow 2 of
2
each.
and 2. So that's now open.
Thank you. Muscat de Provence. It is a pumpkin of sorts. And red curry squash. Delicious. Something that I'm going to attempt making in the not too distant future is a well-known or popular, shall we say, Portuguese jam called pumpkin jam.
Pumpkin jam.
It's often eaten as a starter or as breakfast with cheese. It's very, very tasty. We actually had some on a recent trip, day trip that we did. I'll put a link up to the video if you want to check it out. And it was very, very nice indeed.
Okay, then we have a half of bed number 7, And right down where the potatoes are going to go in that bed number 3, we're going to have a little bit of space to put some melons.
Okay.
We have 3 varieties. These obviously we haven't opened, but these are the watermelon, small watermelon variety.
Okay.
That I want to use.
So
also for cordial.
So let's do a couple of those, and then a couple of these.
Go 2, 2, 2. Shall I just label it melons, or do you want to have them separate?
No, it's fine. Ooh, they're quite small seeds. It says sow in April. It is February.
Yes. But I'm doing them indoors.
Okay.
I'm growing them to much bigger plants indoors, and then we will...
I know.
Yeah, they're a bit confusing.
It is a bit confusing.
You need to go for the orange.
Orange is sow.
Is sow in a greenhouse.
In February.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool.
So then, spring onion. We have 3 packets open, which you can choose from to use for spring onion. Or 3 that are not new.
I'm going to go into the slightly bigger cell because I like to multi-sow the spring onions. And so I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Let's do 3 rows.
So 15 cells.
Yeah.
I'll just put 15 cells.
Yeah, that's fine. So with these onions, spring onions, I'll put 10 seeds in each cell with 30 cells. They won't all come up, but you get like a little clump with each one, which is quite nice. So there we go, white Lisbon, typically a spring onion. You can also grow them bigger like this. €1 for a pack of seeds.
I have a feeling that this one, I forgot about the timings on it, it's earlier or later.
Spring onion?
I haven't done, yeah, it's that particular variety though.
Okay.
I haven't done a great job on remembering all the planting timings, we're just going for it.
Remembered nothing.
Yes.
So we're moving on to nightshades. Aubergine. This is a kind of a skinny, light-coloured, I think maybe a Japanese style, based on the name, but I'm not entirely sure. We tried to sow these last year, and I don't think we had any success with any of them, so we're going to try again. We'll do 2 of these, and then 2 of these Black Beauty. I don't even remember trying to sow these last year, but this packet is open.
We did.
So unless the cats have developed opposable thumbs and a desire to eat aubergine.
We didn't have a lot of luck last year. Same with all the peppers that we tried, remember?
Yeah, I mean we had loads of peppers from plug plants.
From plants,
they did really well. These seeds are tiny. So what's up next, based on the plan?
All the greens. The salad things.
Salad things. Can you give us a sneak peek, a selection?
2 different types of spinach, some radish, some chard, all the lettuces, some pak choy, some rocket somewhere as well.
Very good. There's a load of rocket here as well. Do you want to do that?
Yep.
There's loads of it though. I don't know if we can use it all. Okay. Last up, herbs. Coriander. Can you just tell me which ones we've got? I want to make sure I've got enough pots.
So we need to, on our plan is coriander, Thai basil, and oregano. But then we also have here lemongrass, because I want to do one for the deck.
Yeah.
But I can put that in my deck project pile if you want.
That's alright, we'll start some now.
Okay.
And dill, did you say?
And dill also could be on the deck.
Okay. I've got enough compost to do a little bit more, or to do another pot like this. When it comes to herbs, we usually buy them from the supermarket or from the garden centre and stick them in the ground. They do really well. And we've tried to sow them before, and with most vegetables like courgette, or cucumber, maybe even tomato. I tend to just put like 1 or 2 seeds in the cell and then pick the strongest one. But I saw a video recently, or maybe not that recently, of someone sowing herbs, and they had a pot like this, and instead of just putting like 1 or 2 seeds in the top, they like scattered the whole top of it. And I was like, that's interesting. But then when you see the ones like a coriander plant that you get from the supermarket, it's not like one really strong plant with loads of leaves that come out. It's like loads of tiny little individual plants that are all coming out of the same pot. So that's what I'm going to try this time, and just kind of scatter the top of these things with a bunch of seeds, give us a good chance of something coming up, but also that is then how we can let it grow. So it's almost like multi-sowing, which we do for the onions and the leeks and the beetroot and some other things, radish, but kind of doing it with herbs.
And how many seeds are you putting in each pot approximately?
I don't know, maybe like 20, 30. We'll see how many seeds we've got.
Please tell me.
This pack has 400 seeds.
Don't need that many.
We have opened it and used it before. Let me bring you in closer. Here we go. Quince, coriander, very nice. I'm just going to do a scatter it on there like that.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
We'll see what happens.
20, let's
ish.
say 20 seeds.
More than 10. There we go.
We also have our own.
Yeah, that's in the kitchen though, because I've been cooking with it, with our own coriander seed.
Okay, that's fine then.
So are we good? Do we have everything?
So I think we have everything. Quick recap. Tomatoes, peppers, aubergine, courgette, salad greens, butternut and winter squash, cucumber, spring onions, leeks, chard, melons. And we have a couple of bits that we have not done today but we need to prep for because they're direct sown. So parsnips and carrots, also potatoes and onions, and I think that will then be everything.
For now.
And then I have a flower project, but first we need to clear the deck so I have some space. Yeah, I think that's it for vegetable planting. Step 1, getting into the trays with the new compost. Step 2 is our new watering system.
I don't know how much water they need initially.
That should be enough, and then the new system should take over and give them anything else that they need.
Perfect. Okay.
So, this is the new test. Is a bottom watering tray for each of the trays. I tried to get from the same brand as these, but they're out of stock and they're also from the UK. So,
what's the brand called? Container Wise.
Container Wise is. Into the bottom of these trays, I'm going to put some coconut mat. This should help to keep it so that the roots aren't directly in the water, but they can wick it up through this. That's the theory. This is much thinner than I was expecting, so I don't know if that means I didn't know what I was buying.
Entirely possible.
Or this is just how it is. It's also a bit long, so I'll cut off. Yeah, okay. And I will make sure that this has been cut approximately the right size.
That looks good. Yeah,
yeah, so
perfect.
I can cut them all that size.
Use that as a template.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do with those extra bits.
Maybe make a small hat. Got it. 1 tray full of tomatoes. Thank you kindly. It's very useful not having a window here, actually.
It is really useful. I mean, it would be better if it had a window that just opened. Then
that's way too complicated.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
While you do that, I'm going to open our potatoes into here.
Excellent.
Let's see if any of these chit up.
Oh, some of them have kind of
already
chitted already.
started, yeah.
That's great. So I'm hoping that this new watering system, which is essentially a tray with some water in it, is going to help us overcome one of the challenges that we've definitely faced in the past, which is overwatering or underwatering. But I think this really helps to make sure that everything is getting the right amount of water. It's much more visual, so you can see when it's kind of dried out at the bottom or when there's no water left. And I believe it is also better for the plants because they are drawing water up from underneath rather than washing all the nutrients out from the top. Anyway, we'll see if any of this stuff works. But we've got one last thing that we're going to try and throw at this problem and see if we can get some better germination and some healthier plants, and that is some additional heat.
The marketing claim on the box. Increased germination success, which is what we are after. Healthier starts grow bigger. That could have had a better grammar, but...
They need some copywriting help.
This is a bulk standard heat mat with a thermometer in it. It should fit 4 of our trays on it. It comes in bigger sizes, smaller sizes, all the things. I mean, this is fairly self-explanatory. Roll out the mat, put your seeds on it, job done.
Plug it in, turn it on.
I need to take this piece of decorative woodworking.
So,
oh, it's not very big.
It's not very big. No, it's only supposed to take 2, right?
No, it's meant to take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This bench may not be big enough. Might need to go over there.
Okay, well, we've got power on both sides.
We do.
I don't know much about growing on heat mats, but my first question would be around, is it not going to fry things?
No, so you're meant to set it to 4 degrees higher than your outdoor temperature or something like that. I only want to turn it on in the evening time because that's when the shed gets too cold. In the daytime it's fine in here. It should be fine. We can set the temperature, hence the thermostat. There were other ones that didn't have a thermostat and I was like, what's the point of that? Because then you can't control. Can you pass me one of the trays and let's just see if 4 are going to fit in.
I think if they didn't have the bottom watering tray, it might have.
Yeah, but that can kind of be sat off of the edge of the...
I think you're going to fit 2 on there.
Yeah, I might need to buy another one.
Well, we'll try it out. We'll put the things that need warmth, like the melons
tomatoes.
and the peppers and the tomatoes.
And the others can wait for a
and we've
bit.
also got cucumbers and courgettes.
I'll just buy another one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because then you'll have comfortably 2 on each. And then they can sit on here because we have a plug here and a plug there. So they will go there nicely. So our thermostat says it's 21.5 degrees in here. I think the weather prediction for today was like 19, but the nights are quite cold still, so 7, 8 degrees Celsius. So this will now kick in and turn the heating mat on when it gets to 14 in here, whenever that is. And this is my high-tech humidity chamber, aka a painting protection sheet. Do a bit of this.
And so that just stays on until they germinate.
Yeah. It's just to keep the moisture, humidity level up.
So there we go. That is part 1 of the great Make Do Grow gardening challenge of 2024. We have got a lot of seeds now started, and we still have some more to do as well. And that means that there's going to be lots more gardening stuff to show you as the year and the season progresses. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about today is what happens after these guys all pop up. And we have thought about that. We've even prepared some supplies for what happens when we actually start wanting to grow these things rather than just germinate them. But you will have to wait for a future episode to see how we are going to approach that in this wonderful little potting shed that we now have. So thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.